the perfect s'more.
Don't run from tests and hardships, brothers and sisters. As difficult as they are, you will ultimately find joy in them. If you embrace them, your faith will blossom under pressure and teach you true patience as you endure. And true patience, brought on by endurance, will equip you to complete the long journey and cross the finish line, mature, complete, and wanting nothing. James 1, 2-4, the Voices version. This book was written by James, the half-brother of Jesus, and has been a source of blessing for me, especially throughout the pandemic. The original audience is the early believers who perhaps were facing persecution or poverty. However, it is still relevant to our times. Responding joyfully to hardship is not a typical thing to do. No one enjoys problems for sure. They are painful. Anger, avoidance, and complaining constantly are some natural responses. The author here is not asking to take pleasure in problems. Rather, he requests that believers think of the experience as a way to mature in faith. Let's examine the pandemic for a moment. This disaster has contributed to widespread pain and suffering. Some persons lost their loved ones. Others were unemployed. Some families were separated. Yet in the midst of all the mayhem, beautiful stories evolved. On a personal or spiritual level rather, individuals accepted Christ. Some grew closer to God. Some family bonds were strengthened. In other areas, there have been testimonies of personal growth. Hidden talents were discovered. There has even been new job creations. The virtual world came alive, among other things. Even in my personal life, I encountered growth while experiencing a health crisis. Embracing hardship is challenging, but it's doable. Faith is an essential component to navigate any situation. Approaching challenges without faith only worsen and prolong suffering. Trust me, I can tell you that. From my personal experience, things begin to change upon recognizing that there is much to gain from difficulty. Lord knows I have been on that journey, and when I had the revelation, my outlook changed. I gained much clarity that helped me to embrace the change. Then I began to engage in activities that helped me focus less on the situation, placing more of my attention on God and what He can do until He was able to provide a way out. Dwelling on the problem does not make it go away, it only makes it worse. I don't know about you, what your life situation is at the moment. Perhaps you may be dealing with a mountainous situation. But I want to encourage you, God has provided some resources for us to use. The list is exhaustive, but here are a few that I have used in my personal life. I have summed it up into a simple acronym called PAUSE, and the P is to pray and ask God to help you to change your approach and allow you to view your difficulty as an opportunity for growth. There is purpose in pain. That's the way of the kingdom. God does not cause trouble, but He allows us at times to experience them for our good. A is to adore God. Developing an attitude of praise and worship has benefits. It shifts our attention to God and opens up the opportunity for the portals of heaven to break forth for a mighty move of God. That's what happened to Paul and Silas when they were beaten and thrown into jail. The outcome of their sacrificial praise was an earthquake that broke their restraint. You is to use your gifts and resources to serve others. It's pleasurable to lend a helping hand to others, and it is scientifically proven to be beneficial. The Bible points to this, that there is a blessing that can be obtained from enlightening others. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. S is to soul search. Reflect on the many times that God has delivered you from your troubles in the past as a way to gain confidence that He will certainly do it again. And the E is to engage in self-care activities, having a healthy diet, proper rest and exercise. When Elijah ran in fear for his life after being threatened by Queen Jezebel, God demonstrated the importance of this by allowing him to rest and providing food for him. Finally, don't quit. Make modifications if necessary, like what was done throughout the pandemic, but continue to live because there's a greater joy awaiting. I trust that this added value to your life. Until next time, be inspired and be an inspiration to others.